Hey guys, so today I'd like for us to take a look at Athens and Sparta, which were two very different city-states in ancient Greece. First thing I'd like for us to do is watch this video. I think it gives us a pretty basic understanding of how different these two different cultures were.
This is the Athenian family of Athens. Hi, I'm a playwright, and they're doing a Wifeswap with the Spartan family of Sparta. I'm a warrior. So how will these two very different Greek cultures get on?
Help me with my bag, Spartan slave, and then go and tell the master of the house that Mrs. Athenian has arrived.
I am the master of the house.
Oh, I'm sorry. And where's your dear son? I believe, like us, you have a 7-year-old boy.
I do. He's out naked in the hills fighting with the other Spartan children.
Oh. And when will he be back?
When he's 15. Things aren't getting off to a much better start in the Athenian household. Oh, welcome! Welcome, Mrs. Spartan, to our home. I'm Mr. Athenian. This is my son.
Why is he so puny and sickly? Why was he not taken up a mountain to die at birth? What's that water coming from his eyes, eh?
She's joking. She's joking. Time for the Spartans and the Athenians to settle their differences. Look what you did to my wife. It's not my fault she fainted. She should be tough like my woman. She's no woman.
I'm no slave like Athenian women. You uncivilized Spartan brutes. You lardy-down Athenian sissies.
Right, that's about as much as I can take, okay? Alright? Now, there's only one thing for it. Agreed! A fight to the death! No, I was actually thinking of a vote to see whose way of life is best. Okay. I vote Spartan.
I vote Spartan.
I vote Athenian.
I don't get a vote. I'm only a woman.
I make that 2-1. To Sparta! Run, team!
Okay, so I think that video does a pretty good job of explaining how different these two way of lives were for these different Greek city-states. First, let's take a look at the politics in Sparta. In this city-state, it was the politics were focused around a oligarchy, which is a ruling system in which a few are at the top of the hierarchy, and they are usually the elites of a society, and they will rule without really anybody to answer to. It's similar to a monarchy, but instead of one individual ruling, it's usually a multiple individuals. There were a few kings that came to power in Sparta. They ruled until they had died, but for the most part, it's a oligarchy. In Athens, the city-state was ruled by a limited democracy, which is different from the democracy we know today in our country, because in a limited democracy, only certain individuals at the top of the hierarchy get to vote on which individual will be the ruler of their city-state, and they did this annually in Athens. The restrictions on who could vote in a limited democracy usually were only the top of the class, like white males who owned land and such like that. Very different from what we know today, but this basic framework, this basic idea serves as the framework for what we use in our modern democracy in the United States. The economy in Sparta was you could say it was inferior to that of Athens because of the mostly laid-back attitude of the Spartans when it came to wealth. But the economy was based around agriculture, and the main import for the Spartans was metal, which they would use for their weaponry. being that it was a very militaristic state. The economy in Athens was a flourishing one. It was basically involved trade with other nations and city-states due to the fact that Athens was a coastal city. Due to its dependency on trade, the Athens knew they had a great need for a superior navy to protect their ships from other city-states that would raid them. The social life in Sparta was, like I said, focused around its military capabilities. Military service for all of the men was mandatory, while you could say that one thing that Sparta obviously was more ahead of its times and was the women's rights that they granted. Um, the women were expected to be capable of the same things that men were, and they could own land, and they were able to choose their husbands and could leave them if they so desired. Children were raised from birth to become soldiers and fight dirty, and something that they would do was they would train these children to be thieves, even though it was still looked down upon in society to steal from another. Which they would train them to be effective at it, and in a sense that it was almost not wrong to steal, but it was wrong to get caught. In Athens, they were very forward-looking and motivated society, and they imagine themselves as more sophisticated than all of the other city-states. Like I said, the one thing that you could look at Sparta in comparison to Athens and say that they were a little more backwards, and was the way that they viewed women, and they only allowed them really to take care of the chores and the duties in the house. They were known, however, for their cultural achievements and the arts and music. Something that I'd like for you to do now is to prepare yourself for a debate in class tomorrow, in which each one of you will choose the side of the Spartans or the Athenians, and you will make a case for why your city-state is superior to the other. I'd like for you to do a little bit of your own independent research right now, in which you will find information that is beneficial to the argument that you will make, and you will have a little bit of time in class tomorrow in the beginning to meet with your other classmates who agree with you on which city-state was superior, and you will be able to kind of gather your information and discuss your opinions and form a very effective debate. So be creative with this, and remember to have fun with it, and I will see you tomorrow.